Yeah. Compass Chronicles Podcast, where fandom meets faith. City lights, skyline glow. 2 mics live, let the dialogue flow. Javier and Mickey on the set, breaking down the culture with respect. Comics just cinema scenes we trace, looking for meaning, truth, and grace. Heroes fall, villains rise. We dig deeper past the disguise. Compass Chronicles, stories we love. We break them down. Pop culture talk with keep our faith. Where fandom meets faith.
This is Javier. Welcome to the Compass Chronicles Podcast, where fandom meets faith. I am excited today. I'm here with my co-host Mickey, and we are excited to have an amazing couple with us, Derek and Wendy, and we want them to come on and introduce themselves. I want Mickey to say hello first, and then we'll introduce this amazing couple, and we're going to have such an awesome conversation, and we look forward to it. So, Mickey.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Compass Chronicles. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Derek. We're so excited to have you. Can't wait to hear more about everything that you're doing. And I just can't wait to have this conversation. It's going to be exciting. So welcome, guys.
Thank you so much for your time.
Awesome. So the floor is yours, guys. Introduce yourselves. Tell us what you do, what you like, and we'll move from there.
All right. Well, let's start just to introduce myself.
Yeah, ladies.
Yeah, okay. I'm a freelance illustrator. I work from home. I was attracted to this podcast because I am such a movie buff. I've enjoyed movies and film ever since I saw E.T. on the big screen when I was little. I was hooked.
Awesome.
It scared me to death, but I went back 5 more times to see the movie again.
Oh, that was scary. Oh, I need more.
How many times have you seen E.T.? Oh, you're a newbie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know exactly. But yeah, every time I was back in the theater, I was like, oh, I'm going back again. But anyway, I'm also a person of faith. I'm a Christian, and I've been a Christian also ever since I can remember. But anyway, as far as my the work that I do, I as a freelance illustrator, I work mainly I have a few different things that I do. I'm a caricature artist. I do gigs for parties and stuff like that. Yeah, I enjoy that so much. Derek's been doing that with me lately too, which is awesome.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, I've got him on board. And I also love writing and illustrating books. And I got Derek on board of that too.
Awesome.
Which is pretty awesome. We've become this creative team together here, which is really, really awesome. And now we decided to launch our own podcast as well. And it's regarding faith and creativity, melding the two of those together, and about journeys, overcoming adversity and all of that. So yeah, I'll give the floor to Derek as far as what he does too. Kind of introduced him a little bit already.
Yeah, my name is Derek. Middle child, so I've been a bona fide weirdo since I can remember.
Welcome to the club. Yeah. Welcome to the club, my friend.
Yeah, my daughter's gonna love
you. Grew up, my dad, very devout Christian from military intel, so I was immersed very early on in the Bible. He read it to us all the time, and I knew things about the world that most people weren't privy to. And he judiciously gave out that information, but plenty. And we had no TV in the house for 8 years. All these books, all of these creative things. And I'm being the middle child, I got into everything. You're grounded. And he'd always send me in the room with all the books. Wow.
Awesome.
Years later, I was like, Dad, you're a genius. What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
He definitely was.
Stuck me in the room, and I read thousands of pages of science, political history, philosophy, the Bible, all of this stuff. And then one day I picked up a pencil drawing this Teddy Roosevelt in a book because he was supposed to draw my portrait and he had to leave to do something. I was watching him draw and it was the most amazing thing. So I laid down this pencil line, and in my spirit or soul, now that I can think about it, I was laughing with God. I'm laughing and God's like, you like that, don't you? I'm just imagining this in my head. And I said, God, everything that you made here, I'm putting a line down, and all of history is in this pencil line. It was the most far out thing. And I was like, I'm an artist. So all of my life, I would just stare out windows, draw pictures, ignore teachers, get in trouble, got into music, a lot of classical music. Down the road, that helped in a nursing career to where I meet all the, the dregs of life, all these, what people would call freaks, the most beautiful people.
Mhm.
And all of these, what I would have thought were disparate things, God used all of these intense experiences. I rebelled against God for a while, explored things in the occult and music, understand not all too much. I'm glad I know, because now I'm very involved in spiritual warfare.
Mm.
And just
it's good to have that understanding of it,
And all these creative gifts and weird quirks that I can never fit in. God's like, that's because I have chosen you, and you're now going to spiritual war for me, Derek.
Mm-hmm.
And now when he told me that about a month ago in my spirit, here we are talking and spreading the joy of his creative process, his sense of humor, making us goofballs and doing things like this. And then when Wendy and I met, I'd given up on everything altogether. I said, Lord, I'm done. I give my life entirely to you. He says, you are all mine, or you're done. And then he puts in my gut, here, get a credit card. And I started a thing on Zeus. And I'm like, this is not me. Why am I doing this? But I had a very strong compulsion. I'm like, God, I've learned to trust God's voice. So I did it. Just as I'm praying, I'm like, God, this is funny. I'm about done with this. And then Wendy reaches out.
Yeah. Yeah, on this dating website.
Yeah. So we got together. I drove 2 hours to meet her, and we parked right next to each other at the exact same time. I looked at her, she smiled at me, and we sat down. And as soon as she talked, I was like, I'm in love with her.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yay.
That is awesome.
Every day, zero arguments, zero mistrust. I told her every single thing about my entire life, all the good and bad things and everything. And she's like, you know what? That makes you a real man. And it set this bond of trust. God hates a lying tongue, and I know where it's gotten me in life, my bad decisions. And God's like, look, I'm giving this to you. I am in command. And I've had the most amazing time of my life. I still don't know how to handle the grace that he has.
That I can't even explain it or even understand all that joy that you have. And when you mentioned that whole part about God being goofing around with God, I think people don't understand that he has a sense of humor.
Oh yeah, he does. I mean, look who he made. We're all here. We're goofballs.
Exactly. He gave joy, love, laughter.
Amen.
Why not, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Jesus really, he chose, when you read through the word, all the poor, the downtrodden, the wild ones, the radicals. The first one in the Old Testament was 13 years old, an artist gifted with the Holy Spirit to help build the temple. Who was the first one mentioned with the Holy Spirit? An artist and a freak, baby.
There you go. So that's an amazing story. That could be a whole episode alone.
Yeah, I know.
Life story. But
anyways, I digress. I get wound up with my coffee.
Listen, this show is for you guys. We're here to listen to you, and we're having a great time. But we do have a couple of questions just so people get to know you a little bit. And we go. So one of my follow-up questions was there a season you went through together that really stretched your faith and your creativity?
Faith and creativity.
Last year, hurricane.
Oh, that was yours. Well, one of you. Yeah, there's so many, of course. It was interesting. We were just talking yesterday to someone about seasons.
Yeah.
Seasons of faith. That's an interesting question. Yeah. I mean, I think about my season of, like my previous marriage. I've been thinking about this a lot lately about how, like, when my faith started to dissipate and when I became really challenged with it. And that was like the last 10 years of my previous marriage, when I was really wanting God to make it. I was like, come on, God. can we make this work, and because I didn't want my children to be in a broken home, I didn't want that for them. And I didn't want that for me, I didn't want any of that. But so I was struggling for over a decade with that. And during that time, my faith plummeted even more when my father passed away. And the reason why, it wasn't just because he passed away, it was because I felt so cheated out of my time with him, because I went down to North Carolina to visit him in a short period of time while he was in the hospital. I knew he was going downhill. He wasn't in hospice yet at the time, but I had one day left in my visit, and I was stricken with a terrible flu bug. And I knew, him having COPD, I knew I couldn't go and visit him. I couldn't even go in the room to say goodbye to him. Because I didn't want to make him sicker. I still had hope that maybe he could get better. And that was my last chance to see him alive. So after that, I think I was thinking about this earlier, just thinking how anger is kind of a mild word for how I felt towards God at that time. I was furious. I was disappointed. I was like, why would God, cheat me out of this last day that I could have with my father before he passed? So that was when it kind of started to plummet even more. And I never doubted the existence of God. I just doubted if he cared what I wanted at all. And that's how it was for a while. So I've had a journey of coming out of that. I had hope once. Hope, I guess, just joining that dating site alone was probably one of those things where I was just like thinking, okay, God, let's see. I'm not meeting anyone the traditional old-fashioned way. I meet hundreds of people doing my caricatures at parties and events. I've met hundreds of people, probably thousands of people. I go to church, I'm not meeting anyone the old-fashioned way. So I'm like, what the heck? Let's see if this works. Let's see if I can find, because I'm like, I'm not bumping into my, whether you believe in soulmates or not, but I was like, I feel like,
This man prayed, and you were the gift that he answered with. That's
Amen. That's
babe.
awesome.
Mm.
That's awesome.
And
I think it's rekindled.
when he brought us together, he said,
my
Wendy,
faith.
I was listening to you. Here's the guy that's going to love you more than anything.
Oh, baby. Oh my God.
That's beautiful.
Mm.
That's an amazing thing.
We
Mickey, you
make
have
everybody
anything?
sick around us.
No, not at all.
I love
That
my
rubs
wife
off.
so much. Christ says, love your wife as Christ loved the church.
Amen.
He gave his life for it. He sat there with his mouth shut, and I'm like, I know all of you, and I love you so much. I'm just going to stand here and take it. When I look at my wife, man, I can't even describe the love I have for her, because it's that type of love. I put Christ first in everything, and he's like, all right, thanks. I'm going to give you so much love you can't even handle it.
Amen.
Okay, so where was this dating app again? No, I'm just
Yeah, I know.
I'm the only single person in the room.
Right,
I'm like, give me that dating app.
C-O-O-S-K.
Yeah, COOSK, and I was thinking, it was like counterintuitive, but I prayed, and that's the gut feeling that got, and it was like
We were both, we were both in like the final, I think we had both given it like 3 months or something.
Okay.
And we were both in that final month where we're like, you know what? I'm not even gonna go another month after this. We're both in that stage.
exactly. Yeah.
And I was in the stage also where I was like, you know what? When we talked on the phone, we found each other, we talked on the phone that night, and we decided that night while talking to each other, are you available this weekend? Let's just enough with this texting back and forth mumbo jumbo stuff. Let's just meet each other and see if we feel that connection face to face.
Well, I can say just by listening to you too that you guys have an amazing love language. You guys mesh beautifully together.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so
You
much.
guys radiate, you radiate off of each other, and it's just a wonderful thing. And you meet a lot of married people, you don't always get to see that connection.
Yeah.
Which is just awesome that you have that special bond between you. And it's awesome that you're showing it and sharing it, because I think a lot of married couples need to see this, even single.
Yeah.
I'm single. It inspires me to go, hey, there is still hope out there.
There is always hope.
Right.
The thing is, I realized I had to be willing to give up everything about myself that I even cared about and just be.
Yeah.
And then go about my business. And then all of a sudden, when you're like that,
honestly,
you're just who you are. And when someone meets you like that and sees you for who you are and says, hey, I like you.
Yeah. It took it. I mean, I had such walls around my heart. I really did. I really felt like, I know he's got to leave pretty soon, but I'm going to stay on.
No, for sure.
I can probably talk about movies.
Yeah. We got to talk movies for sure.
But anyway, I was like, I call him the Kool-Aid man, because he like bursted through those walls like, oh yeah, like bricks flying all over the place, and
awesome.
Like that was what it was like. That's what he did to me. He just broke through those walls around my heart with his authenticity and his like wonderful spirit, and it just blew me away.
My Daffy Duck has. She says, "I am Daffy Duck." Human. Come busting through. Hey,
I go to visit him at his house, and he's got these cartoons, this weird cartoon playing. I'm like, okay, this guy's interesting. And then like I'm about ready to leave. I'm like, okay, because we lived 2 hours apart.
Oh wow.
When he lived in Columbus, I'm up in Cleveland. So I'm about ready to leave, and we still got the YouTube going on, and he puts on Monty Python, and one of my favorite, I think the parrot sketch or something. Either it was parrot sketch or the argument sketch, or
the argument sketch.
Argument sketch, and I was like, well, I'm not leaving now.
Oh, that's awesome.
But it was great.
That is great. So, I know you have to leave soon, Derek, and I don't want to. But because this show is all about fandom and all our love about comics and everything else. So I want to ask you both before you leave, because I know, what's your favorite comic book, if you have one? Your favorite cartoon, if you have one?
Oh man!
And how does it affect with your faith and everything else? How do you mix that all together?
Ooh,
my favorite of all time is Spider-Man.
Oh,
okay.
And I'm here in the comics. No, you did not know this.
I didn't know.
There you go.
His spidey senses. He's this guy kind of like, I identify the middle child. You're kind of ostracized from everything. You're the weirdo. You got bit by this thing. You got these superpowers, creativity, stuff like that. But it just, I had my tonsils removed. It was a winter of 78, big blizzard. My dad built an igloo and my brothers got to sleep in it with him. And I was bummed out that I wasn't there, but my dad knew I loved his comics. So he let me take my stack of comics in there. And I was reading Spider-Man with a Dr. Octopus. And then I saw it on the TV like, wow, I got to put this down. And I got sucked in. And so, it got me drawing stuff and things like that. So I just love the pathos, the Spider-Man, and how he had to creatively come up with things. This mechanical device. He kind of had superpowers, but he was more of a nerd. He wasn't just only kryptonite can get me. He had to deal with all of it.
Right.
And to blend in while being like that, his position in society was rather low, and I identified with it.
Wow.
That's awesome. Wow.
Star Wars movies. I really like the Star Wars movies, and later on,
quick question: the first ones, the originals, or the
originals?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a raw artist. I like that.
There you go. That's awesome.
But just really, they're like predictive programming, getting into Gnosticism, this duality, Vader, like really what we're seeing now going on in culture, they were telling us about it back then, and that theme is repeated. So I really get into a lot of sci-fi and weirdness because it tells you a lot of things that if you're not a nerd, you're not going to care about, but they really give you a lot of information on that stuff. Plus, it's so cool. I draw monsters. My wife will see me. I'll draw politicians with like weird lizard faces. Like, I try to come up with actually a comic book called The Dysfunctional Hour, where I'm a man doing the news, and I talk about the most politically and socially inappropriate things. Ed Haddington, the reporter, he's always jerky with coffee and saying the thing that people are trying to not say, and he just comes out with it the whole time,
That's great.
So I've been working on ideas like that, especially going on with all the lizard people and things. God having a sense of humor. He's like, Derek, you're my screwball. Go out and give it to him. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed. We didn't have a TV for so many years, so I had to watch the Star Wars and the comics. Those are the things, and Muppets. I really
the Muppets. There you go.
Jim Henson, Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem. Oh yeah,
awesome. Yes.
Yeah, Floyd on that bass doing his thing. Yeah, it was really just to see this whole creative thing going. Like, wow, you can create this whole world and entertain yourself, and you don't need anything else. Amen. And all these people getting lost in their worlds. I like how we can talk. Yeah, it's a digital interactive tool, but we're looking at each other's faces. We're talking ideas and stuff. And I really like it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Anyway, Mickey, you have any questions or a follow-up or?
Oh my gosh, this is so fun. I'm having such a good time. What if you were to write a comic, what would it be about?
Yes.
Trying to be a superhero and failing miserably.
Okay.
Oh, that would be fun. That'd be fun.
I guess
failing at being a superhero.
Oh yeah. And there's a lot of us, right?
How I go about my life right now,
It's like interesting. That would be interesting.
Like going out on all these conquests and everything else and coming home, like being brutalized and realizing how real the world. I don't know, just a way to poke fun at myself in the world. And like the atypical superhero, but in a way it is a superhero because he can identify with everyone else trying to make a change. But all these unreal things are coming at you to prevent you from doing it. So that would be my comic book I would use, and I don't know what I would call it.
I like that.
My older brother, Dushan, I had Dewey's his nickname. I call it Dewey the Delinquent. And it was
Oh, that'd be great.
There we go.
That sounds like a great comic book, too.
You're helping me flesh out ideas. This is awesome, man. I don't want to go to work. No,
that's a great comic book, Dewey the Delinquent. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're going to put that out. I want to get a copy.
Hey,
me too.
We're going to stay in touch now that we have some ideas. I am going to get to work on stuff because I need this as part of my creative process.
I would love to get
not
together.
Dry,
like
but when you have only one or two people that are intense, this extends the network. Like, wow,
that's fun. Sure, we are blessed. We are blessed to have you guys here, and we're having a great time. I'll be honest with you, I was a little nervous at the beginning, but like Mickey said,
you should be nervous meeting me. I'm a weird.
Well, if you ever get to know me, I'm really weird myself, so we get along really well.
Well, that's why we're having such a good time,
Yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, not at all.
So Wendy, I leave you now because I know you love movies and all that stuff.
So I'll let him talk for a while.
So the floor is all yours.
Hold on, I'm gonna say goodbye to everyone.
All right, Derek.
I gotta
get ready so much, man. I appreciate you being on here. We definitely will talk again.
Sorry, gotta grow everyone out.
That's gonna be my. If you don't mind, that's my thumbnail right there. Boom.
Oh yeah,
That's my thumbnail.
God bless
right
both of you, and I look forward to more talking. You two.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna get together again
off
for
that
sure.
hat and I grin like,
Yes, sir.
yeah, we got some weirdos.
Oh yeah,
We gotta wear our hats, guys.
All nerds, all us
geeks
geeks gotta geek out together. So.
Amen.
All right, brother. Thank you so much, man, for being on.
Have a great time with these characters.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Derek. Bye.
Take care, Derek.
Take
Oh
care.
yeah, thank you so much.
All right. So Wendy, let's start with your. Well, you mentioned E.T., but I know there's got to be other movies or other stuff you like. So, especially being an illustrator, that's being in that way. And talk a little bit about that too as well. I would love to know a little bit about that.
Oh, very good. Sorry, he was
No worries.
Oh yeah, repeat the question. Sorry, I was a little
No. So I know that you like DT, but I know
Yeah.
that you probably like other movies. And then being an illustrator, you must love comics or art itself because
Oh,
every artist loves art. So, what were your inspirations? What made you like? How does that work with your faith?
well, I had to laugh while he was talking about Spider-Man. It was like because I was like, oh, so he's choosing this really awesome like superhero character, and I was like, thinking about what I was. I my comic books that I was surrounded by as a child were gleaned from random garage sales and things. So I had Snuffy Smith, I had Dudley Do-Right, no,
Those are great.
Rocky and
Oh my God.
Bullwinkle. I was
Oh,
born in Canada, so I had like Rocky and Bullwinkle and
Oh,
Dudley
yeah.
Do-Right. I was like, so he's got Spider-Man, and I've got Dudley Do-Right. It's kind of funny. I like the lamest like comic character there possible.
that's fine. It's what we enjoy, right?
But that's why I love because he was such a goofball. He was just like such a, it was a Dudley do right and he never did right. He was always wrong. He was always messing up and could not do anything right. So I think that's dud. What a dud. But I guess that's why I love the characters. I guess maybe that's why I love Derek's idea so much. Like a superhero that is so bad at being a superhero. That was Dudley Do Right in a way. Like he wasn't a superhero. He was, but he was this Mountie that didn't know how to do his job. But I guess that's why I loved it because it was such it really related to my own like the whole self-deprecation of Canadians and it's like not taking yourself seriously and just the gold goofballness of it. I love it. So that's what I loved about comics more than anything. I liked to laugh. I wasn't as interested in the superhero ones because they didn't make me laugh. I liked reading so I was big into Calvin and Hobbes. When
Good.
that came out,
Oh, yes.
when I followed those in the newspapers and the comic section and the Sunday papers and the daily, I would snip them out and I would collect them. And I remember my uh, actually my grandmother or my great grandmother, she had this. I still have this. There's this container of all these very old comic strips that were cut out of newspapers called Godown. It was called the Godown comics. And no one's ever heard of them. I don't even. I wonder if I Google what would show up for them. But it was about this dog that and very I don't know personified dog, and he would just go have all these different things happen to him. It was just with this a dog in this family. It's just about a dog in the family and all these funny things that it was once again another humorous one. So it's just my practice was when I had this container of these Godown comics, this all rolled up in little rolls and balls. And when I was sick, I would take it out and I would spread them all on my bed and I would read them. And that was a kind of a fun little practice I would have. So I guess being an illustrator, it makes sense that I ended up wanting to be an illustrator more than a fine artist because I love the whole idea of telling stories with pictures. That's to me, it was just like hand in hand. I loved writing stories and I loved drawing pictures. And then when I finally, my sweetheart, I love you. And it just naturally came together for me. When I started writing, I was illustrating too, and always been that way for me. So I love, and I guess that's why I love. As time went on, and I got interested in movies, I started falling in love with movies. Once again, it's stories and how they come together, and how you can tell a story and have things communicated within that story and find inspiration from those stories. I think that's what happened with me film, I would think about, with E.T., my first love. Um, I It was about just about friendship, and that rainbow at the end of the movie when
Hmm.
E.T. goes off. I felt like that was him leaving his message of friendship to Elliot on the ground, and thinking, I'll remember you forever, even if we never see each other again.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, I remember thinking that when the rainbow, I was like crying, my eyes out at the end of the movie, of course, with everybody else.
Oh,
But yeah,
that's
yeah.
yeah. ET's a one of those that no matter what time it's on, you always watch it. Like if you're screening to the TV
Yeah,
or then you'll see it. Like yeah, why not? It's one of those wholesome, fun
yeah.
movies to watch that you know there's not going to be any real craziness in it. You
And
know.
you know what I can't stand though? Oh my gosh, I made the mistake of trying to get my kids to watch it probably at too early of an age. It was around the same age that I watched it, but maybe I don't know. Maybe this generation is just not ready for something like that, and they were terrified by it.
Oh wow.
Like, dang it, it's supposed to be like, come on. So I'm like, come, I want to show it to my stepdaughter now too. And I'm like, she's 13, like she better be ready for
Oh,
it. She better
I
like
hope. Yeah.
it. Come on, E.T. is lovable. He's not scary. I know he's scary at first, but you fall in love with him. That's the whole thing.
Right, right.
Oh my
That's
God.
awesome. That's great. So yeah, when you do your illustrations and stuff like that, how does your faith come into all that you do, like in your illustrations, or how do you reconcile your faith with all that you do? If you get a
Yeah,
request that kind of doesn't feel well, or how do you reconcile that stuff?
thank you. Yeah, it's I once again, I guess the illustration is all about, because I do have two separate things I do with my illustration. One, of course, is I call it my meat and potatoes job, where it pays the bills, and but still I'm still creating art, which is great. But I'm not necessarily doing. I'm not creating what I want to create necessarily, but I'm still enjoying what I'm doing because I'm getting paid to do art, which is great. I mean, if that's the dream, that's the goal, which
Hmm.
I'm very happy about and very blessed for that. But my real passion is writing and illustrating books and putting them out in the world. So I self-publish. I've been self-publishing since 2012 or 13.
Oh wow. Okay.
So over 10 years now, I guess. And
Mm.
that's my true passion is, and ever since I was a kid, and my has been my dream ever since I was a kid. Um, so that's where I put my faith into more than anything, as far as expression of my
Mhm.
faith in an artistic way. I love, like last year, I put out so I do mostly picture books, but I have done a couple novels, and they're like supernatural. So I wasn't sure like how. It was kind of funny where I was like, I thought maybe people of faith would feel a little weird about it because it's about ghosts. It's about the
Mm.
main character is a ghost. But I like, it was interesting writing fiction uh, for a change, like an actual novel, and
Mm.
writing a fictional novel length book. I wrote uh, two, and then there's a series. I need to do a third one, but it was called Somewhere in Between.
Mhm.
So it's about about a boy who passes away in the first chapter, basically, and
Mm.
then just go through his experiences. And it was a way for me to work through my grief when about losing my dad. So it was and it was also a way of expressing my faith, strangely enough. I mean, I know that the whole idea of ghosts, might be a little, some people might, oh, don't talk about ghosts, or
Mm.
whatever. But I had really an interest in it, and I was like I was doing a lot of research into experiences that people would have when they temporarily died and would go to heaven and then come back. So I was very interested to see and to learn about those stories, um and just my own experience with what I wanted to communicate more than anything with those particular stories, those books, was the issue of spiritual warfare. That was the big one, because that was the big thing I wanted, because the reason why I wanted to have this character who was in this afterlife and in this in between is so that I could have a character who is human but is able to see and communicate and experience what is going on with the demons we are surrounded by, that feed off of our fear, our depression, all these bad feelings that we feel. They feed off of that, and they make it worse. It's like they attack us when we are at our weakest. And I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to write about that and explore that. And I guess it was a way for me to, I always wanted to write about my own experience with depression when I was a teenager, but I wanted to write about it without writing about it. Because I always try, whenever I tried writing about it, it just ended up feeling so pathetic. And I didn't want to go back there. I didn't want to go back in that hole of depression, but I wanted to express it and what my feelings were about it. And so fiction was a great way for me to explore that. And I feel like I love the idea of like, we can express a lot of truth through the art of fiction. Once again, movies, there is so much truth that we can glean through the stories in film and in writing. And that's what I love about it, the art of it, and what the filmmaker or what the author is trying to express between the lines, I love that. And that's what I like to do with my writing. I like to see, well, I never want to just tell a story. I want to tell a story and communicate something deeper at the same time.
Amen.
And those are the movies that I love the most.
Awesome. You remind me a lot of Frank Peretti.
Oh my gosh. People have told me that.
Yeah,
I've actually told people my Somewhere in Between books, it's like a cross between Stranger Things and This Present Darkness.
Yes. Which is, if anyone has not read those books, it is one of the best books you can read. It's amazing. Frank Peretti.
I'm in the process of reading that book. It's funny because people have told me that before when I talk about they tell me, oh my gosh, it sounds like that book. I'm like, okay.
This Present Darkness. It's amazing. So yeah, you're in the right, especially I see where you're going when it comes to fiction. Christians are a little bit hesitant when it comes to fiction. They tend to, but that's what the show's about, so that we can bridge that imagination and stuff into what God wants us to do. I don't know, Mickey, you have any questions for Wendy? Or I'm just
I think it's
amazed
wonderful
at
that
what she's saying. That
yeah, I think it kind of resonates when people write. It's kind of a good way to put your emotions on paper without going through the whole. For some people, there's people that can express themselves like straight out and be transparent, and there's other people that don't want that transparency necessarily to be seen, but they still want to be heard in a different format. And fiction is a great way to do it. I think that's a great way to sum that up. And I was looking at your books, Somewhere in Between and Fighting the Darkness, that correlation, those two books together. And so you are writing a third one to that series.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's just one of those, I'm at that stage in my life right now where there are so many things coming at me. And I'm struggling with the third one, because the first one was the introduction of the characters and of the concept of this spiritual warfare that's going on. The second book, I delved deeper into another theme of forgiveness and self-forgiveness and all of that, where basically the first book basically starts with this car accident. That's how the main character dies. The second book starts with the same car accident, but with the other guy who was in the other car, who
Mm-hmm.
caused the accident that killed this other kid. So he ends up dying too, but he ends up falling into the hands of the bad guys who are like attacking him and really grabbing onto the guilt and creating this guilt and really they hold the guilt that he feels from that accident and is what pulls him into this bad world and the existence of these demon characters. And he and I my goal with that book was to make sure the reader did not felt it was a torturous thing for me to write, because I loved this character was a good person and had no reason to torture himself like this. And I wanted the reader to feel that same feeling, because the truth is, what the reason why he didn't cause the accident because he was drinking or careless or anything. He forgot to take his medication for for crying out loud. When you have involuntary seizures.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why he had the accident. So it was at no real fault of his own, yet he felt this guilt. So I wanted that was important to me. I wanted him to be a purely guiltless, really, character who fell into this experience of extreme guilt and self-torture and being tortured by all these demons surrounding him. And so that's what that book really was for me, was, there's all these other things that are going on, these fun characters and a lot of lighthearted stuff at the same time. But this one character, it was really, oh my gosh, I'm feeling like all jittery just talking about it, because
That's awesome.
it was so emotional and such a very difficult thing for me to write, because I felt such emotion for this character, and I wanted the reader to feel that too. And I wanted the reader to want him to not be that way and to heal. I wanted the reader, just as badly as I did, wanting him to heal, so that the reader once again can connect and reflect and remember that even our guilt is something that these demons can latch onto and cause bad things to happen in our lives when we refuse to let go and forgive ourselves for whatever it is that we're hanging on to, so that was a big part of the second book. And then the third book, it's going to be, once again, spiritual warfare, but I want it to be on one of the main characters that has become like one of the more main characters in the story. She's modeled after Sadie Sink's character in Stranger Things.
Okay.
Yeah, I used her as inspiration, yeah, Max, the Max character. But she's a very very likable character, and I think she's going to end up being the one who gets attacked next time, and it's going to be a big deal. And I want to really get into focusing more than ever on the issue of spiritual warfare and how susceptible we are to it. So yeah, once again, I just love the whole concept of speaking truth through fiction.
Amen.
And I think that's such a great thing that people, if you're a filmmaker or a storyteller of any kind, it's a wonderful thing to do with your art, and an important thing to do with your art.
Amen.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of people can resonate with what you're saying about the guilt part. A lot of people, even when it comes to acceptance of Christ, they feel that guilt, like they don't deserve it, or if they did something. I think that resonates with a lot of people. So reading that book will definitely touch a lot of people in that way. I can see that you have that passion in it, and readers will see that when people have that passion, people read that and be like, "Wow, she really is, and like this is really good."
Yeah.
But and I love that. I'm a writer myself. Mickey's a writer. We all know that drama and that whole, we want to get our point across
Yeah.
in a way that we're not offensive but real. So,
Yeah.
and I'm telling everyone, they will have all her links on the
Oh,
bottom of this. Everything will be there, so that
Mhm.
we can you can reach out to Wendy and Derek and have fun and invite them on your show, because they are the coolest people I have ever met. Couple.
Thank you.
Extremely, I love nerd couples. I do, trust me. Mickey knows. I'm the biggest nerd in the world.
Love it.
And that's why we did the podcast, because we
Yeah.
love nerds
Awesome.
and we want nerds to love God too. So,
Yay.
but Wendy, you are an inspiration. Thank you so much. You are definitely inspired me to continue looking at writing more, and you have this presence that just motivates people. So
Okay.
you and Derek just hype me up. So
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm so
Mickey,
happy
I don't know
about
if you have anything to ask Wendy, or this conversation can go on forever, but
it. Yeah,
Yes.
I know.
I do have one quick question before we wrap up.
Sure.
Again, we will put all your information, your website, and everything will be in our show notes for everyone to be able to reach you and find you. As a character drawing individual, AI is now doing that, and people are popping up with their characters all the time, and
guilty.
they're cute. Don't get me wrong; I
They
think they're
are. They are
funny.
cute.
I actually
I admit they are cute. I've looked at them like, yeah.
a few times. Now, does it bother you though? Now, does it bother you though that does it feel like that's your competition sometimes? Because I like AI, but I like real, I like raw authenticity. I like the natural. So I would rather get character drawings from a person like you or Javier, because Javier is really good too. He's a good artist. He
Cool.
knows how to play with stuff. Than to have, AI just create whatever they want for me. Does that make sense?
It does. I've thought about that a lot every time I see, like I've been seeing on Facebook, people sharing their AI created caricatures, and I look at it and I'm like, that is pretty cool looking. I have to
Yeah.
admit, like it looks really good. It's like, but at the same time, you can tell that it's AI. You can
Right.
tell that
Yeah.
it's not created by a person,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's a good thing. I'm
Yeah.
glad that it doesn't look like that people can tell, everyone
Right.
can tell that it's AI. AI does seem to so far have this very distinct look to it.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
you
Yeah.
can just automatically recognize that as AI.
Mm.
So I like that about it at least. So that people aren't thinking that there's someone out there doing these caricatures. Personally, I actually just did a gig last week and invited my son to come along with me so that he could learn the trade as well. And I the what thing is, when it comes to what I do mostly, I don't do a lot of custom orders, and not because I don't want to, it just I haven't really marketed myself as much to that, and I'm busy enough anyway at home doing my other stuff.
Mhm.
But what I do mostly with the caricatures is the on-site quick sketch caricatures that I do at parties and events and things like that. I I believe that that's my I don't think I'm naive in saying this. I don't believe that that's something that will be replaced with AI. I mean, the thing is, I'll be doing caricatures in at this party, and then right next to me there'll be a photo booth, and the photo booth, is so I feel like that's like kind of almost like the AI kind of version of what I just like
Mm.
people can they're just clicking pictures and it's not exactly AI, but it's a different experience. It's a whole other experience. And what I'm doing, I like to tell people when they're hiring me to do caricatures at an event, I remind them, don't worry if I don't draw every single person at this party. Not everyone's going to want a caricature.
Mhm.
Plus, what I'm doing isn't just about the product. It's about the experience. People are watching me draw, and that's entertainment for people. And so I always, when I'm doing these events, I always I turn my back to the crowd so that people can see what's on my easel and people can see what I'm doing, because I'm very well aware that that's what that's part of the experience of it, is not just not only the people having their pictures drawn, but people watching an artist do their thing. And people like that. People like to see that. So I'd like to think that that particular aspect of it cannot be replaced, because that's the human part of it. And so I think I'm hoping that as AI develops and, takes over a lot of things, I'm hoping that people will start during that experience and journey, people will start wanting what it's lacking, which is that humanness, human touch. And it takes a little bit of time for people to, people get into it, and it's exciting and new and different. And so and I do believe it'll take over a lot of things, but for those people who still want that human touch, at least I'm at least us we artists will be irreplaceable in that way, because we have that human touch and we have that ability to connect with our creator and make that magic happen through us.
That's awesome. And it's funny because I'm a huge proponent of AI. I use AI in a lot of the stuff I do.
And I noticed that for your images that you have, which I think, once again, I feel like it's a good tool. It's a good tool, but as a replacement for
no. Yeah, like the way I see it is, I have all this in my head, but I don't have the skill set to do it. So this allows me to release that imagination, and so that's the way I see AI. It helps me create something that I could not normally do, or would have to ask someone to do it or pay. So that's where I see it. But I also see the disconnect, the human part of it. You don't feel that natural part of it when you do have it hand drawn or stuff like that. So I do get that, and it's always appreciated.
Yeah, I gotta say to that point as well, I've thought a lot about that, because I'm a huge proponent of self-publishing, and there are a lot of people who have written books, and they can't afford my services as an illustrator.
Right.
And I feel bad about that, because I really do want other people to get their books out there. I feel for those people, because I do believe in that every story needs to be told. And if you have to use AI to have an illustrations done for your book, so be it. There are always going to be those people who, and then there are those people who want something more that doesn't look like AI.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
for sure.
But if it's a tool to make your dream happen and to make your thing go, happen, I figure so be it. If Derek was sitting beside me, he'd probably slap me, but no, he wouldn't slap me. But he wouldn't slap me. But he'd be like, what did she just say?
Well, he'll hear it when he sees the show. So.
I'm glad he's not here right now. He's going to hear the recording.
Yeah, he's going to hear it.
Oh dear, I'm in trouble.
Oh boy, I got you in trouble.
I said something good about AI.
And especially for someone who loves it. I mean, I do. I really do enjoy the freedom it gives. But I also understand from an artist side, it does take away a little bit of it. So I have one last question that we want to ask all our guests, and we let them open, and that's how we'll end, with you answering. So my question to you, and I'll ask Derek next time I see him, for someone listening who feels completely stuck right now, what's one simple step that they can take today to start moving forward?
Let's see.
Sorry to hit you with that.
No. I feel like basically you just answered your own question there. That's why I would say take one step forward. Take that one step. If you're like in your craft, in your writing, sit down and just start writing. I remember a teacher of mine who said there's no such thing as writer's block. People say that, something like, well, but as a writer, you feel it.
Right.
And really, I think it's what stops you is the fear.
Yes.
The fear of what if I sit down and I don't have anything to say? What if what I do write is crap, it's all about fear. And it just basically trust. Okay, so here's what you do. Yeah. You take yourself out of the equation.
Yes.
Take yourself out of the equation. Say a little prayer. Say like, okay, God, I'm your vessel. I don't know what's going to come out of me, and I have no control out of it. I don't, how about, take the wheel, take my hand, and just give it to God, I guess, in that way,
Amen. Awesome.
Yeah.
And with that, we are going to say adios. And we want you to all please like, subscribe, and share. If this episode has touched you, please share it out there. I will have all of Wendy's and Derek's stuff in our show notes, so you can follow them, give them a follow, show them some love. And again, Wendy and Derek, you're not there, but thank you so much for being on. We are so blessed, and we look forward to having another conversation with you on the next episode.
So.
And we're gonna have a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mickey,
thank you so
as
much.
always, Mickey, thank you so much for being on.
Yes.
And thank you, everyone. God
you.
bless.
So
This
great to meet you.
Compass Chronicles Podcast, and we'll see you at the next one.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the Compass Chronicles Podcast, where fandom meets faith. Another episode in the books tonight. Javier and Mickey on the mic, bringing insight from comics and movies to meaning and grace. Looking for truth in every story we trace.
Compass Chronicles,
that's the show.
started free love.
We let them flow
Fandom talk,
with deeper faith.
where fandom meets faith.
Like, share, subscribe, don't miss the next show.